there's a company called Hot Toys, and they make these insanely realistic, like, renderings of characters. They do them for all the Marvel characters or whatever, and they look so much like you. It's disturbing, actually. Like, scary. They look so much like you, but they're tiny. They're like 18 inches or something like that. They actually that's what's crazy about that company is they hand make they carve the mold. The mold of
That's crazy.
It's wild.
Robservations with Robert Meyer Burnett.
Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, your master of fun and wonder, your viceroy of verisimilitude, yada, 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 Robert Meyer Burnett. And it's in time for a little bit, it's Midnight Musings time, where this show, we just muse about midnight, or, whatever. One of my favorite movies, Round Midnight, which is about jazz, directed by Bertrand Tavernier, that actually stars Dexter Gordon. He's subsequently passed on. Why I'm bringing this up, there's a documentary on the making of this movie that was recently released on Criterion Blu-ray, but there's a documentary, which I had never seen, that I watched on HBO Max. But you know what? You don't care about that. I'm just musing. You know who you do care about? My beautiful co-hosts on this show. The lovely and Mr. 1/6 scale man himself, Lael Rockwell. Listen, kids, I got to know, how are the two of you tonight? Are you ready to muse, wax rhapsodic, as it were?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, I've been thinking about something like, so tonight I went down, my friend Bill Hunt from the Digital Bits had all the rest of the episodes of For All Mankind, which is one of my favorite shows. Wow. So they're up to episode 7 this week, but we watched 7, 8, and 9. We watched 8, 9, and 10. The last 3 episodes of the season. Like last season, totally stuck the landing. Different kind of an ending. I mean, the writing is so crisp, and it is such a well done, well thought out, well plotted show. And to me, it's totally supplanted what's currently airing as far as Star Trek is concerned. And the show was co-created by Ron Moore, who co-created the new Battlestar Galactica and began his writing career in the 3rd season of The Next Generation. Wrote for TNG, wrote for Deep Space Nine, created Outlander. And when I was watching this, I realized that the meaning of this show, and in terms of representation, in terms of representation of people of color, in terms of representation of LGBTQ people, I've said this a lot, no one is doing better representation on TV than For All Mankind is, because it's not obtrusive, but it's there. And they touch on all these issues, but they do it in such a way where they don't draw attention to themselves. The writers aren't going, "Hey, look at us! Aren't we so of the now and it's a beautiful show, incredible characterization. It's so well plotted, and every season it jumps 10 years, which could be difficult in terms of plotting. And it's an alternate history of the U.S. It's just an amazing show. But it got me thinking about, what is it that makes this kind of writing? Why do I think the writing on this show is better than the writing on, say, modern Star Trek? And another creator.
It's funny you just said that.
It's
funny you just said that, because Into the Darkness is on right now.
And why is it on your TV? Why do you have that swill? Why is it there? Turn it off right now.
Well, they've been renewed for another season, Robert.
For All Mankind, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's incredible. For All Mankind is incredible. But it got me. Have you turned Into Darkness off? Do you still have it playing?
Yes,
You're just not going to tell me.
Yes.
Okay, good. In deference to me, that movie doesn't make a lick of sense. But we won't get into that. But so it got me thinking about, what is it that we look for in our entertainment? And Lael, when you came on the show tonight, you said you went and saw Nope. And I'm a big fan of Jordan Peele. I love Key and Peele. I really loved Get Out. and I thought,
Yeah.
you know, in the finest tradition of Rod Serling, Get Out was a tremendous film. Us, I thought, was really, really effective. Lupita Nyong'o, who is one of the most beautiful women in the world, delivered an incredible performance. Winston Duke was great, but I thought that movie had a very muddled ending. I understood what he was going for, but I'm like, to me, it jumped the shark. It went into the realm of, there was not verisimilitude at the end of that movie, but it was well made, and I appreciated what he was going for. Now, I have not seen Nope, but you did. You've seen Nope.
Yeah.
And you started out by starting to say, tell us, I stopped you because I wanted to do this live on the show.
Yeah.
But so tell the viewers. By the way, if you can do it kind of spoiler free, because I haven't seen the movie.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
But I
like
like
spoil anything. I'm not going to tell you too much about it at all.
Okay, but I like what you were saying about. Well, tell the viewers at home what you were saying.
So the thing is, all right, we've seen the trailers, so we know pretty much what the trailers. They set up a certain level of expectation with the trailer because it's all about spectacle. It's basically how we draw you in is to create this mystery surrounding this small area of California, you know, way out, you know, pretty much in a desert, ranchy type area. So they set the expectation that it's a spectacle that you want to see when you're looking at the visual. And now, mind you, I will say, visually spectacular. Like when you see it, it's beautiful the way they've done it. But the thing is, like any Jordan Peele film, and if you've actually, because he's actually set this up for you, he's set the expectation for a film that you would see knowing it's coming from him.
Right.
And that is pretty much, you go into it. Put it this way, there's pieces of a puzzle when it comes to his film. He lays out the pieces of that puzzle. It's up to you to put it together to figure out what it really is and the meaning behind it. So it's the symbolism. When you go into his films, you look for symbolism first, and the spectacle just kind of picks up and you put that together later. So I was looking for symbolism. So I was able to pull certain things together. Now, here's the thing. Interpretation is, you know, pretty much up to the person who sees it from their point of view and what you get from it. Everybody's going to take something totally different, but in the end, you're going to kind of see the same way, just from a different point of view. That's what this film gave me. There were pieces of this film that you have to look and go back. Like when you see it, you got to always remember those moments, remember the conversation, remember the jargon. I was watching, you know, Campia this morning. He was talking about what you and Campia. He was talking about how certain parts were it was just too slow. It was drawn out. But the thing is, I slightly disagree, because the reason why I say that is because it's those moments that he wants you to key in on so you can listen to the conversation. Listen to what's basically being said and how they explain it. Look at the scenarios and how they're tying everything together. And then you'll get a better understanding as to where they were going with this film. Me and Toya and I, when we got home, we didn't get out the car. We were sitting in the car for almost 10, 20 minutes, deciphering, just comparing notes, bits and pieces. And even though it was a totally different, like our scenarios were different, but in the end, we tied them both together and we had a further understanding. It was like, oh, what? That's what that meant. And we all came to that conclusion. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the brilliance of him is the simple, in his direction, in his films, in his writing, is the simple fact that he sparks the conversation. He knows that's what he's going to do. He sparks that conversation. Yes, you're going to get the visual. You're going to see certain things. You're going to pull certain things, but he sparks the conversation to whereas you're going to talk about it. If you don't leave a film talking about it and you just look at the spectacle, oh, that was good, then what are you getting from it if there's no conversation in the end? So that's just the way it was. It was a conversation where we sat there and was like, wait a minute. I kind of understand where he was going from this point, or let me go back to try to piece this together, or what did this mean? Let me focus on that point and see how it actually complements the all-out scenario, like where he's going, the narrative of the actual film. And that's how it was for us. Like, we sat there and watched it, and at first we sat in the seats, and I was like, Toya, so what did you think? She's like, I don't know, but let me just think about this a little bit. And on the way home, we just started piecing things together, and we was like, okay, cool. That meant, now the one thing that he did say, from beginning to end, I will tell you this: you will not take your eyes off the screen. You will not. You're going to follow it the whole way through because you want to know what's going on. So that's what he's forcing you to do, and I love that.
I would say then that's the mark of a great film, or at least a very good film. If it sparks conversation and you and LaToya can muse over it later. I mean, that's definitely I would say that's means it's worthwhile.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
not
that's
every.
and that's what I want. I want films that are going to draw me in, and I want the conversation. I don't want something that's not going to give me that level of entertainment that I'm looking for. It's not going to give me what I want. I want something that's going to completely draw me in. It's going to connect me to the characters, even though like each character, like the thing is, it's like for again, when they say that certain characters in this particular film were wasted. No, they weren't, because they followed the scenario and the plot, what was needed for them at that point.
Sure.
There was a reason why they were placed there. It wasn't that they were just, undervalued, underused. No, they followed the narrative according to what he and how he wrote it, and their importance to the bigger picture. So that's what I loved about it. That's how I kind of pieced it together. The thing is, people they're going to take different things from it. But the whole overarch is the simple fact that in the end, you're going to probably arrive at the same scenario, literally. And that's what I say about it. But there's huge symbolism here, and you have to look at in the very beginning, listen to what's being said the whole way through, and you'll get it.
Well, I can't wait to see it. I mean, I've heard a lot of the reviews have kind of, for the most part, been positive, but there's been some that have been all over the place, and I like that. I mean, I think that's a mark of compelling entertainment. Anthony Mendoza, by the way, became an imagination connoisseur, member of the channel. Thanks for that, Anthony. And then, of course, our friend Superhero Displays has been a member for 9 months. But yeah, I mean, it was interesting to see, like, my whole thing about entertainment or anything, books, comics, I want to feel there's authorship behind what I'm watching. That the author of whatever it is really has thought about you. You get the feeling you really know what the person who's created this material, that they really knew, they really believed in what it was that they were making. And whether you agree with it or disagree with it, I do love feeling the presence of the author in the work. Not that it distracts. I don't want the author's presence to distract from the story, but I think with Jordan Peele, you can feel his presence. I mean, you might not always agree with his decisions, but when you're watching a Jordan Peele movie, you're getting something from him that is worthwhile, even if you ultimately, like with Us, I felt it didn't quite work, but I did like what he was doing, and clearly you feel that with like the original Rod Serling Twilight Zone, and I really feel that, like I was talking about, I think Bill Hunt was in the chat here, when I went to his house today to watch For All Mankind. I really feel that the people that make For All Mankind really know what they want to convey. They've really thought through the storyline. There's things that they set up in previous seasons that they pay off. The last shot of the second season, for instance, is absolutely paid off in this new season, which was surprising to me. It was very, very interesting. So I'm looking for that, and I'm glad to hear that was definitely in Nope.
And the thing is, it's like, what do you want? Like, and I'm sorry, real quick though, what do you want from a film or a show? Do you want something that's just going to give you everything all at once that doesn't take thought or deciphering? Or do you want to actually get something out of it where it just makes you think about life, even things that are going on within your own life at that moment, like the past, the present, the future of where we're going, what we can see in the future, how we can change certain scenarios, things that were done, wrongs that were made in the past, how we can make them right in the future. I want shows in movies that will kind of move me to kind of think forward instead of thinking backwards and dwelling on what happened then and was like, oh, you know what, that hasn't changed. No, there is a possibility that things have changed. And sometimes certain situations will make you change the way you see things. So that's what this movie did. So I loved it. I mean, I enjoyed it. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. And we're extremely thrilled that you loved the film. It makes it encouraging me to go see the film. I'm even more excited about it now after hearing your review, Lael. And, for a long time, so many of us are wondering and asking questions like, where's the original work that people are doing? Like, why don't we see anything new? Where's the latest auteur? Where is this person? And Jordan Peele is.
Yeah.
And whether you like his films or not, almost doesn't even, I mean, obviously we like his films, but if they're your favorite or not your favorite, it doesn't matter. He's a creator who takes risks and is willing to go ahead and present his work with pride no matter what he's doing. And there aren't a lot of people out there who actually are doing things like he's doing. I mean, it's really a fantastic thing that he is doing this. I wish there were more creators like him. That's what we need. We need a full wave of people to just present their work. And we know we're not going to like everything. This is, the expectation of everything being 100% fantastic just is unrealistic. People will have their likes and dislikes. But when it comes to being a creator, when it comes to being auteur, Jordan Peele pretty much has that, has accomplished that. And we know for the next 10, 15 years, he's going to continue this and have an incredible library of work that people will be talking about for a very, very long time.
Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree with that.
I definitely agree. I agree.
I
love it.
Sonny Dominguez, our friend Sonny Dominguez, longtime imagination connoisseur, sends in a tip and says, at San Diego Comic-Con, I made a new friend with Post-Geek Singularity member Julian Mushkin, who I spent the day with. Went to panels, one which I took a nap in, and then found out he hadn't even seen John Wick, though we went to a panel for a book by the Trexpert guy. That would be my friend Mark Altman for his new book. Is anyone else here? I will be down at Comicon on Sunday. We will have our... There they are. There's Julian and Julian Mushkin, and then Sonny on the other side. I'll be down doing our panel Starship Smackdown, which is going to be the 20th anniversary of our panel that we started at Comic-Con in 2002. So
wow.
It's crazy. I will definitely...
Robert...
oh, yes.
I'm sorry, talking about Comic-Con, today at Comic-Con, of course it's everybody's eager for this Comic-Con because it kind of feels like Comic-Con is back, right?
Yeah.
Because it's in the summer as we know it to be in San Diego. And, it is exciting and I'm extremely excited about it. I'm not there this year, but it is wonderful to see it. And, we had a very interesting event that happened at Comic-Con involving William Shatner.
Yes. Go Bill. Yes. Do you want to set that up and explain William Shatner at Comic-Con?
Well, I don't want to necessarily spill all the beans about it because I have not actually watched his entire interview. So I can't necessarily say that I watched it and I understood what's going on with this. But it would appear that, and rightfully so, that William Shatner has declared himself as the GOAT, which is fine by me. I've always felt he was the GOAT.
He is the GOAT.
What
are you talking about?
So,
of course he is.
Yes.
You're gonna tell me he's not?
No, I agree. I've always felt that way. So that didn't feel like, anything that would be a surprise to me because he's had such a huge impact on all of our lives. This is just the fact of his work. No matter what he does and no matter where he goes, he has such a wonderful influence and he's entertaining, a very attractive man, especially, in his younger years. He's 90, he still looks good.
He's 91.
But he's been to space. He's had some comments that he made there that a lot of people, I think maybe raised eyebrows at, but I can understand how he feels. I think that his comments about modern Star Trek were something to think about from someone who pretty much started it all.
So what did he say?
Okay,
what he said.
I'm going to read this article. I got this article pulled up. Okay, here it is. This is the article that was in the Hollywood Reporter today, actually yesterday, July 22nd. William Shatner, here, I'll guess so you can see it. William Shatner sounds off on Star Wars and latest Star Trek shows during lively Comic-Con appearance. The actor claimed Trek creator Gene Roddenberry would be turning in his grave at some of this stuff. Bravo, Bill. Bravo. William Shatner closed out the first night of the San Diego Comic-Con in style, with plenty of cursing and a look back at his storied career. In an hour-long chat with MC Kevin Smith, the 91-year-old actor talked about aging, space travel, both real and fictional, and his place in the pop culture consciousness. Shatner's age was a running joke throughout the panel, with the actor quipping that he could die at any moment during the panel. None of us really want that, sir, but that would be fucking incredible at Comic-Con, Smith joked back. People would be like, he died like the legend he was. I guess you could say that. Throughout the Shatner on Shatner panel, presented by the fandom-focused company Legion M, the icon fluctuated between, as he put it, serious and fun topics. He took time to address the importance and power of fandom, to his career and specifically to Star Trek, which 56 years ago introduced the world to James T. Kirk, his most enduring character. When asked to address the fans of that other major sci-fi franchise, Shatner quipped, "Fuck Star Wars, but not Mark Hamill." "We love Mark Hamill," Smith agreed. When asked by a fan if there were any new Star Trek series he thought rivaled his own, Shatner replied, "None of them." "I got to know creator Gene Roddenberry in 3 years fairly well," said Shatner. "He'd be turning in his grave at some of this stuff." At another point, he gave a fan a hard time for wearing a mask because the actor could not hear the man's question. Mask wearing is strictly enforced this year at Comicon, the first since the coronavirus shuttered the convention for 3 years. "Not only did I not understand what he's talking about, but I don't understand who he's talking to," said Shatner, after several attempts at asking the fan to take it off. Shatner also took time to talk about his real trip into outer space. He stressed how important it was to soak in every minute. "I went and I vowed that every moment I spent in space would be not playing around in weightlessness, but be looking out the window and trying to get an impression," said Shatner of his trip last year in Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. However, Shatner said our own planet is where we're truly meant to be. When one fan asked which planet he'd like to visit, Shatner simply said, "This is the only fucking planet we've got." Toward the end of the panel, Legion M showed off an emotional clip from its upcoming Shatner documentary in which the actor told a story about finding his beloved pet dog dead when he was only 10 years old. He described how this experience opened his mind to the fragility of life, changing his perspective and teaching him to treasure fleeting moments with nature, family, and the planet Earth. The panel ended with the fulfillment of a promise from Shatner. At the very beginning, Shatner said he and Smith would engage in a curse-off. "You're a double dumbass," said Shatner. "Well, double dumbass on you," Smith returned, a reference to lines in Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. "What kind of a shitty statement is that?" Shatner quipped back. "Now you just sound like my mother," said Smith. "I feel sorry for your mother," Shatner said, ending the panel in a mic drop moment. So there you go. There's Bill Shatner. Oops, sorry about that. There's Bill Shatner. Technical difficulties. The man's a legend. I can honestly say that. You know, I was one of the great moments of my life was, well, very many moments, days of my life was directing him in Free Enterprise. So that was fun. Here's the thing about Shatner. Shatner's had so many different career resurgences in his life. I mean, after Free Enterprise, which he did when he was 69 years old, 69, bro. He went on and did an album with Ben Folds. He got cast in The Practice as Denny Crane and took that character. He won an Emmy, his first, playing Denny Crane on The Practice, and then they stopped The Practice and started Boston Legal, and they took the characters over, and he and James Spader developed one of the great on-screen bromances in television history, and he won another.
Yes.
He won another Emmy Award. So Shatner's I would say, the fucking man. You know, he's at 91, he's not slowing down. The fact that he doesn't have to go to Comic-Con. Last weekend, he was in Ticonderoga, New York, at James Cawley's Star Trek set experience, where they've built a recreation of the entire Desilu Star Trek sets from the original series that are accurate down to the last detail. I've actually been there and shot on them. They're amazing. And if you ever get a chance to go out there, I would highly recommend doing it because great, great, great stuff. So, you know, Shatner's the man. He doesn't... And I have to say, like, as much as people like Strange New Worlds, to me, it is a copy of a copy of a copy. And Anson Mount it's a show that people love because of Anson Mount and the show's legacy. I don't think people are really analyzing it to the fullest extent. But, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, it was great to hear, you know, of course, as you mentioned, there's a documentary that is going to be coming out. And of course, we'll find out more about what's in the documentary. And I'm sure it's wonderful because, you know, there's hardly anything that William Shatner seems to produce that is bad. Probably nothing, actually. So, you know, we're all looking forward to it. But, you know, he's speaking his mind. And I think that there are a lot of people who have the same feelings that he does. And it's refreshing to see someone just come out and just say, yeah, you know what, this is bullshit, or, you know, F this. It was really nice to see the candor of an entertainer. And he didn't sugarcoat it or make excuses for anybody or explain why it was garbage. He was just like, no, this is how it is. And I am the GOAT. And it's great to see you all. And, you know, it was so uplifting. And he's always such an inspiration, Robert and Lael. Always such an inspiration.
Oh, yeah. You know what, though? He doesn't watch Star Trek. He doesn't know. Look, he's an entertainer. Like, I'll tell you something. We went to the Cannes Film Festival with Bill, and back in Cannes they had a Planet Hollywood, and he gave away his. I wish he didn't, because I think it closed. This Planet Hollywood closed, but he gave away his bomber jacket and his Air Force hat from Free Enterprise. And when he did that, he got up. There was hundreds of people there and reporters and everything, and he just made up this total story about the bomber jacket and the hat. Just completely made it up. Talked about how the jacket belonged to Eddie Rickenbacker, and he found it on a homeless guy, and he paid the homeless guy for the jacket, and complete bullshit story. And we're just like, Mark and I are listening to this, and all the reporters are listening to this, and we're on the Quisette right off the Quisette in Cannes, and there we were selling Free Enterprise at the Cannes Film Market during the festival, and we were like, when he gets off the stage, we're just like, Bill, that was amazing. I mean, we didn't know any of that, and he looks at us like, that wasn't true. I just made that up. I was like, man, that's so baller. I can't even begin to tell you how baller that was. But no, I mean, Shatner's obviously my childhood idol, and working with him was great, and everything he does. And you look at that guy, he's not just 91. He's 91. He was 91 in New York last weekend. He's at 91 in Comicon, in San Diego this weekend. The guy goes to conventions all the time. I mean, the man is outrunning death.
He doesn't look 91 at all.
No, that's because, it's proof when you get older, don't retire and don't stop moving. To stop moving when you're that age, being sedentary will kill you.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, gentlemen, is, like his comment of like F Star Wars, and kind of like what I was thinking about when he was saying that, it was in relation to the idea that what they're trying to do with the Slave Leia merchandise, let's say going forward, or at least I've heard, from what I understand, this may not be entirely true, but any kind of like future Slave Leia merchandise is going to be censored, or at least that's what they were talking that someone may be doing.
First of all, let me stop you right there. It's not Slave Leia. It's Hut Slayer. Hut Slayer Leia.
Yeah, they changed the name.
You can't call her Slave Leia anymore. Just like you can't say in Star Trek,
Slave
Star Trek.
One.
Yeah, you on Star Trek merchandise. There's Orion slave women. Not anymore. Now there's green Orion animal women. I don't know if that's better, but that everybody's being. It's such a weird thing because slavery was a part of human civilization for thousands of years and still is even to this day. I mean, whether it was called that or not, you had indentured servitude. You had people that lived on the land that was owned by the lords, in Europe. I mean, there's always been some form of slavery. But of course, American slavery has a particularly ugly legacy, and it was a singular kind of slavery in the history of slavery. But it is kind of weird. I mean, Jabba the Hutt did keep chained up dancing women in his lair. Like he had a Twi'lek. Before Leia showed up, he had a Twi'lek chained up already, who, if memory serves, was actually played by a woman of color.
Yes.
And she was shackled, and she got she met a terrible fate.
I have to wonder, because I like going to the cons. There's a lot of people at the cons this week, and I've seen videos from the cons, and there's always some wonderful person who dresses up as Slave Leia. Male or female, doesn't matter. There's always going to be a Slave Leia, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call her that, so I know it's not official word, but that's what I know her as.
I've got my die-cast Code 3 Slave 1. That's one of my. I'm not going to call it a fire spray starship. It's a Slave 1, man.
Yeah, and honestly, gentlemen, the thing about it is that I look forward to seeing the Slave Leia, and there are even some men who will dress up as Slave Leia, which I also look forward to seeing.
Oh, my friend Bill Waters took like he just takes pictures at Comicon and stuff. He took a picture of like 300 Slave Leias all in one picture.
Wow.
So I mean, and Slave Leia, if anything, people talk about taking iconography back. That. I mean, she was at the time. I mean, Jabba the Hutt literally chained her up. She was chained to Jabba. in this metal bikini. I don't know what you want to call it. You know, Hut Slayer. She wasn't a Hut Slayer at the time. She was chained up. So it's. I mean,
yeah, and it.
Well, I mean,
kind of like censoring it removes some of the romance and fun of the original thing for me. That's how I feel about it.
Well, both of you can speak to this subject far more eloquently and have more skin in the game than I do. So let me, Lael, let me ask you, as a Star Wars fan, you know, you've got a shrine, one of the great shrines to Star Wars I've ever seen. How do you feel about the name Slave One or Slave Leia?
Well, the way I see it is, it's, put it this way, like my mother, or you know, everybody always says it's the energy that you actually give a word. If you give the word that type of energy, that's the way people are going to perceive it. You know what I mean? Like if you give it that tone, I mean, you can remove the word slave from a film or try to erase it, but you'll never erase the word slave from a dictionary. It's going to always be there. You know what I mean? So you can't basically remove that. So it just it depends on the energy that you give it. Slave One was the name of an actual ship, and people have to also understand that slaves weren't just part of one particular nationality. There were slaves of so many different nationalities. They were just slaves the way it was. But at the same time, I mean, I get it. I get trying to course correct certain things that might have been given bad energy in the press. But at the same time, it's just like, that's part of history. It's that word is part, and as far as Star Wars goes, it's part of that level of history. Now we can choose whether or not we want to go back, especially the negative part of history. We can choose whether or not we want to constantly talk. And that's why I would say, like, even with film now, I don't want to see another film, you know, of my people being slaves. I don't. Because the thing is, I know there are certain parts of Africa.
You mean Star Wars fans?
Well, no, well, just you know what I mean. But
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Course.
Like I know that there's part of Africa where, you know, my nationality were kings and queens. You know, I want to talk about all of us who actually have succeeded and have pushed forward. But at the same time, this is Star Wars. You know what I mean? In Star Wars, where we're living amongst, you know, so much diverse characters, whereas aliens, you know, whatever, it's not something that was given that level of energy. You know what I mean? But I can understand both parties, both sides, but you can't, no matter what you try to do, you're not going to erase that from the memories of those who, especially those like me, who have grown up on calling the ship Slave One or looking at Leia. Well, see, the thing is, I never even called her Slave Leia. I called her Leia. That's all I called her.
Well, I mean,
that was
it's funny. She was never called. That was just something they had to.
No.
It was ironically, it was probably done for the toys.
Yeah.
You know, they had to call it what they couldn't call it, like Metal Bikini Leia. You know, they had to give it some kind of dramatic name. And it's funny because, you know, if you look at like the prequels, Shmi and Anakin were slaves to Watto. You know, Watto owned them, and that was in that universe. It was people, and then they sold her to the Sand People or whatever. And, you know, Shmi got passed around. And it's such a, I don't know, it's a weird, but I understand, like, the funny thing here's the thing that I don't understand. We can't erase the past. You know, if you go back thousands of years, humanity has been horrible to each other. We're a bad bunch of folks. We're not nice. And humanity, the history of humanity is a litany of horrible atrocities one group has committed against another group, depending on where you are. What the rape of Nanking, what Japan did to China during the World War II, horrific. You know, and it's almost like we try, by eliminating words from the vocabulary or something, that we're trying in some way, shape, or form to I don't know, absolve or try and make reparations in a way for the past by changing words around, and I've never understood that, because it doesn't get rid of the past. And in a way, it kind of does a disservice to everyone, because we're pretending that, oh, now we by getting rid of certain words, we're getting rid of our bad past, at least in a little bit of it, which you can't do. And to me, you should embrace the past. And like you said, you don't want to watch any more movies about people. Oh, look at that! Look at that! That was that piece of artwork. That awesome. By the way, this artwork is it's the Return of the Jedi B key. It's the B sheet, the second one sheet, and it was done by a great Japanese artist. So did they really change this? So that's the originals with Slave Leia. Could you move it to one side or the other? Because you right in the middle.
Wait.
So scooch it. Yeah. Okay. So there's the original with Bib
Oh,
Fortuna.
you can't see both at the same time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, if you,
And it's
but yeah,
better? Now you can
there
see
you go.
the-
So they've changed that. Now that artwork looks different because the Han Solo is different too. But
Yeah.
that's pretty amazing that they've got. See, and I'll tell you something. I find that offensive. I find it offensive that this piece of artwork that has existed for decades, that they used as the second, it's the style B one sheet. So when they make artwork for movies, the main piece of artwork that you see on posters and things is called what's called the key art. It's the key piece of artwork that's going to. Well, Return of the Jedi had two key arts. It had one. It just had the lightsaber.
Yeah,
with
I
the
didn't
Death
like
Star.
that one.
No, it's terrible. And then it had that. That was the B style one sheet that this Japanese artist painted, and it's beautiful. And then there was the re-release artwork as well. But for when Jedi first came out, those two posters, and now they're going back and editing that poster out. And who are they trying to kid? Like, who are they doing this for? Why are they infantilizing our society? By the way, Nightcrawler sends us a super sticker. It's the wrecked super sticker. It looks like a hippopotamus is getting wrecked in a chair. So Nightcrawler, thank you for that. And Mega Utube 99 says, anyone watch The Gray Man? It was That's what I keep hearing. But do you guys think by changing artwork they're accomplishing anything at all?
Well, I don't, but Lael and I have been to quite a few cons together and events together at this point. And every time I would see somebody dressed as Slave Leia, I'm looking, but I almost want to say thank you so much for doing that, because I enjoy it so much. It's like you see a beautiful person. It doesn't really matter whether it's a man or a woman, but you just kind of enjoy it because it brings back that feeling that you got when you first saw Carrie Fisher, in this bikini, and it was like, oh my gosh, she's in a bikini and she's near Jabba the Hutt. Oh my God. Like it was, all sorts of emotions go through your mind. She looks so beautiful. It was kind of a romantic notion, albeit, she was being kept chained, like there were a lot of implications about it. But honestly, all I could think about was how beautiful she was and how that, she managed to still defeat Jabba the Hutt, even though she was in chains. Like this thing was it what happened and how she handled herself, knowing, this couldn't have been easy for her, in the context that it was in. So I love Slave Leia. I love seeing women in the different outfits and men and whoever likes to dress up that way. I think it's wonderful. And, thank you. Anybody who does Slave Leia cosplay out there, if you're watching this, thank you so much for doing that. We are looking and we appreciate it. But it never bothered me. The name never bothered me. I've heard the stories where Carrie Fisher talked about having to wear this bikini and all sorts of things. But honestly, she knew she looked so beautiful in that bikini. It added a lot of romanticism to this story. And, I think that it was okay in the context that it was in. Why not? Why can't we see a beautiful woman in a bikini? I mean, when was that a bad thing? Like, how is that a bad thing? Just you and I.
Well, to be fair, I mean, even Jabba here's what I loved about it. Jabba's a Hutt. Like but he still wants to look at hot chicks, hot humanoids in bikinis. I'm like, give it up for Jabba. He knows what's going on. He doesn't have any discrimination. He's like, I like humanoids. If you're a bipedal humanoid female, then I don't care what color you are. I don't care if you're a human or a Twi'lek. I'm going to keep you around and put you in a bikini and make you dance for me. That's what I'm going to do. And in a way, in a way you could look at it, that's pretty uplifting because Jabba the Hutt is certainly a man of wealth and taste, and apparently he's he's into little interspecies action. So good for you, Jabba. No, I'm kidding, by the way. People are like, what are you saying, Rob? I'm just saying that, look, Jabba the Hutt appreciates a beautiful lady, and especially when they're chained to him. He's a bad guy. He's Jabba the Hutt, crime boss.
Well, it was such a special moment in the series. I'm sure you both agree that it was, such an important part of the story. And, thank you for putting that in, George Lucas. I
Look,
mean,
he wrote the story that he wanted to tell, and that's the thing is like you can't look. He wrote the story the way it was. I don't even think. I mean, in the movie, they never called her slave Leia. I mean, so that wasn't his intention. That was just given to us by other people's interpretation. But he wrote the story the way he wanted to write it. He gave us, and you'll never basically erase that from history. That'll never be erased from history. You know what I mean? No matter how much you tried it. And it's like I said, the past, man. Like, what do? We learn from the past to conduct ourselves better in the present to mold the future a certain way. You know what I mean?
Totally agree.
So that's part of the importance of knowing the past and what the past represented, everything from the past that we've learned from. You know what I mean? And it's there for you. You'll never be able to change those things. So, I mean, I think that it's like basically trying to cover up a blemish with makeup, knowing that when you wash your face, that blemish is going to still be there until it leaves on its own. You know what I mean? So, again, it's just the way things are. But
No, it's true. That's why you go to Dr. Pimple Popper. She gets rid of those
Yeah,
blemishes
right.
on your
Right.
face.
well, we also saw a lot of other. Did you need to do some super chats right now, Robert? Or
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say,
sorry.
well, I don't want to read superhero displays has a great question. I don't want to derail the conversation, but Julian Michigan comes back because we talked about Sonny Dominguez. Julian M says, just a quick shout out to Sonny Dominguez, who generously made it possible for me to get to San Diego Comic-Con this year. Had a great day roaming the vendor hall and going to panels with a new friend and fellow Post-Geek Singularity member. Both Julian and Sonny are great people. I actually met Sonny. He came and saw Tango Shalom. Sonny Dominguez comes back and says, by the way, Julian also bought a Darth Maul hot toy today.
Oh,
It
wow.
is really cool to meet new friends via the virtual shuttle bay. We got to make a lot of jokes regarding your hatred for modern Star Trek, too. Tell Julian he needs to watch the John Wick trilogy. First of all, how is there... Oh, there's Julian and Sonny together. Arun is showing them. How does anyone not see John Wick? Come on now.
Oh man, I just saw the trailer today. It was incredible. What a sneak the teaser trailer.
Yes.
Oh, did they release the
Yes.
teaser trailer John Wick 4?
Yes, they
Yes,
did.
they did.
Yes.
I haven't watched it, man. I've been out.
It's incredible.
They released
It's
it at the
incredible.
con.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
incredible, bro. Straight up. Yeah.
I love the John Wick movies. Did you
Yeah,
get
me
the
too.
John Wick hot toy, Lael?
No,
I didn't either. I didn't either because it was just Keanu Reeves in a suit, and I know it's John Wick and he came with a lot of weapons, but when you put it on the
Yeah.
shelf, it's like,
Like what? That's the thing is like it was the only figure from that line that was released. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Mhm.
there was nothing else that they gave us. You know what I mean? I wish, they would have gave us the John Wick and maybe like Lawrence Fishburne or Holly Berry. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Or I wish they would have did that, but they didn't. So it was just the only. And it's like it doesn't fit the scheme of what I have and what I have in my
yeah.
collection.
I mean,
So-
I like random movie figures, but that figure was sort of generic. I mean, I've got the Hot Toys
Yeah.
Neo, and I do want to get the Hot Toys older Neo. The I think I can still
Yeah.
get it from Toys Wonderland. I think I'm going to order that.
Yeah.
The convention exclusive.
I
Well,
want. You can still get it. You can
Yeah.
definitely still get it. It's still up for pre-order. But I'm gonna tell you what I want to get, and I don't give a fuck how much people hate the movie. I didn't see it. I didn't watch it, but the fucking figure looks incredible. That
Morbius.
Oh my god, bro! I want that so bad,
Dude, it's
So bad.
it's always Morbin time for you. Yeah, I got to say that figure is great.
And Keanu Reeves was talking about the Berserker comic that was crowdfunded. Was it this year or was it last year?
It was last year.
That is going to be turned into a film on Netflix. So that's
Wow.
something that's coming up. And he spoke about that at the con. But something else that was really interesting, and maybe you guys could comment about, has to do with Marvel's animation panel, where they talked about
Yeah.
Spider-Man and X-Men and zombies and a whole bunch of stuff.
What if I Am Groot, Spider-Man? Was it freshman year?
Mhm.
It was What If season 2 and X-Men.
X-Men 97, yeah.
Yeah, X-Men 97. Yeah.
No, I mean,
And-
I think
and
it's great.
Yeah. So they got a couple things going.
No, I think they're doing some great stuff. By the way, Tom Jr. Jackson says the band is back. Good to see you, Rob Lael. Great shirt. And you look marvelous and amazing tonight.
Thank you, Tom. We are all goof people. Thank you so much, Tom. I do appreciate it.
Bloodsport just got home from seeing Bloodsport 1. Says
Hi,
just got home from
Bloodsport 1.
seeing Nope. It was okay. Interesting idea. The UFO is a metaphor. But of what? Jordan Peele works in metaphors. Not his best work. I give it 3 stars out of 5. I've heard that,
fair.
you know. Bert
Sure.
says, hi, fellow geeks. What are your thoughts on the new Batman? Okay, there's a lot of people that have Hot Toys questions right now, so why not? I know it kind of, since we're talking about Comicon and we're talking Hot Toys,
Yes.
Bert says, hi, fellow geeks. What are your thoughts on the new Batman Hot Toys, especially the Battinson version dropping along with the Keaton version? Now, it's funny because I have the DX Michael Keaton. I think that was the first DX figure, or it might be the second behind Joker. I'm not sure. But I have that figure. So, Lael, I'll ask you, because I was watching one of your live streams and you were addressing these issues.
Yes.
What do you think about the Keaton? What do you think about they're redoing it. They're repopping the Michael Keaton Batman figure.
Yeah, I need it because I didn't get it the first time. And, come on, man. We're talking about 89 Batman, Michael Keaton. That's the GOAT, in my opinion. That's the Batman on film that I've actually seen the first time on film, done that way. I've always been a fan of the suit. I've wanted it so bad, and to see that they're doing it as a re-release, I don't either really re-release or re-edit. I don't care.
Does it
I
have
want
the
it. I
Piers
will have
eye
it.
system? Because the original did, where the
They
eyes
didn't
move.
say. That's the thing is, it's nothing that's really been said about the figure. Nothing in detail.
It was too small. The
that-
original's a little short.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I really want it. I can't wait. I cannot wait till they put it up. Here's the thing: is like, you never want to get your hopes up high until they put it out for pre-order. We have to see that first.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yes, I mean, that's amazing. They did basically show us what was it? The display, or it was the plastic display for the DX19, the suit itself, with Bruce Wayne. That I won't get because it's not something I necessarily need. They showed us a second version of the 89 Batman with like his computer screens, his computer setup.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was pretty dope. But again, I just gauge it off of what's going to be, what's going to come out, or for pre-order. And that's how I know. But yeah, the highlight so far for me is that 89. I have to have that 89 Batman.
Yeah, I mean, Hot Toys has been releasing a lot of stuff. Our friend Superhero Displays says, "Hail this holy trinity." Probably a rhetorical question, but have you guys been watching the various bombs being dropped at San Diego from Hot Toys and Sideshow, etc.? I think it's safe to say, Superhero Displays, that Lael and I have been keeping a very close watch.
Yes.
Between the Exo-6 Star Trek prototypes that I'm very happy with. Thanks, shout out to Six Scale Mafia, who keeps me in Star Trek figures. He gets them for me early, which is very nice. But they're doing a lot of great work. They're not Sideshow or Hot Toys. But I do have to say, I'm kind of a little disappointed in Hot Toys in the sense that they haven't. I see you agree with me a little bit, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, why are we disappointed? I guess I'm disappointed because, look, I was excited about Wolverine, even though I don't understand why they're doing a Days of Future Past Wolverine. I mean, not that ship has sailed, but that ship has sailed. I have a Days of Future Past Wolverine. It's awesome. I love this face sculpt, and I love that figure, and I'll buy it. But I'm like, what are you trying to tell us? There's so many things that you can make. You're going back to I have 4 Wolverine Hot Toys. I have the Days of Future Past Wolverine. I have the Wolverine Hot Toy. I've got the Wolverine. I have X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then I've got X-Men: The Last Stand Wolverine in the leather suit with the Sentinel base. And I'm like, and I will get that 70s Wolverine. But I hate the fact that I will end up having 5 Wolverine action figures, and the only other mutant they make, if you want to call Scarlet Witch a mutant, they make her, but she's a miracle until she's called a mutant, is Deadpool. And why if now that Disney and now that the X-Men are under one roof, why doesn't Hot Toys go back and do a whole an X-Men line
And capitalize on it? I don't know. That's the weird part for me. That now, don't get me wrong, that Wolverine, it's incredible. It was probably one of my biggest highlights
Oh, it's incredible.
of before the con release. It was like from the sideshow booth, the sideshow con. That was one of the most amazing pieces. Actually, even before then was it was a Toy Fair exclusive, or no, it was the summer what is the summer event that Hong Kong had. That was probably one of the biggest highlights for me from there. But I mean, I get it. And here's the thing: is like one of my biggest disappointments right now is that they didn't capitalize, number one, fully on the 40th anniversary of Attack of the Clones, and they
No.
didn't give us Mace Windu at all. They didn't give us Padme at all. They didn't give us that Kit Fisto that that's been sitting there for a while. I'm like, I don't know what you are doing.
Well-
I don't know if they're basically waiting until celebration in April. I don't know what they're doing at that particular point, but I don't know. And it just certain things that they just didn't capitalize on. But there's certain things I did see that I liked, but I just thought that there could have been more, and it could have been their chance to kind of really, come in with a bang, but they didn't. So I don't know.
Look, I mean, they showed us those like you said. I like Attack of the Clones. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't apologize. The battle on Geonosis is some of my favorite shit. I love
It
that.
was dope. It was dope.
I love it, and I love Padme's outfit in that movie.
Yeah,
And they did show they've still got that line coming out of R2 and 3PO, and they're supposedly.
Yeah.
But I just think in Hong Kong, in China, Star Wars is not as big. And I understand the reason they put out so many Mandalorians is because they don't have to pay for face sculpts. When they do, like Bo-Katan has a head sculpt. And so will what's her face? The other part of the trilogy, the trio. What's her name?
Sasha Banks' character?
Sasha Banks' character. Why am I drawing a blank on her?
But the troopers, you don't have to, because the clone troopers, they all have the same sculpts.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, does Natalie Portman not want her, her likeness out there? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I would have thought they would have bought out the likeness rights, but I think the Hot Toys Star Wars figures are just a license to print money.
Yeah, but can they make a prototype without asking for someone's likeness? Because we saw the prototype. I mean, we've seen a picture of that.
No, I don't think they can. I think they have to. I think they're just worried that which figures sell and which figures don't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why. I mean,
and that's the thing. That's the biggest part of what the problem is that here's the thing. It's just like, it's sort of like you got to see it two ways. Like the fear of, overestimating as opposed to underestimating. You know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those situations where you put out so many different figures, and you put out like a high, like pretty much a large quantity of certain figures that won't sell, that they'll actually just like maintain a certain shelf life within the company. They can't get rid of them. They're occupied in a warehouse. It's like it's hard to gauge what will sell against what won't. But the only way that they'll know that is to give us something different. And that's the thing. Like, if you keep going down that rabbit hole of just reproducing figures that we've already seen, or keeping within that same IP because you think that in your market it sells, thinking that over here in North America, like, we don't, they'll like what we sell, so of course they'll go with it instead of giving us something different. Like, yeah, and even like somebody said, Lady Thor, they missed the opportunity on that. They didn't actually give us, they didn't give us that version.
How could they not do that? Like, how do they not have that ready to go, knowing these films are going to come out in advance? I don't understand. I don't understand their business model. I don't get it. I don't either. It's kind of bizarre to me.
The only figure that we have from Attack of the Clones recently is the Jango Fett figure.
Jango Fett, we got some of. Yeah, well, pretty much it was Jango Fett. They did basically put out, what we got so far was Jango Fett, but they did put out for pre-order, 3PO and R2,
a few more clones,
battle
maybe
droids, a few more clones, but none of the actual characters that we know. You know what I mean? So that's what really didn't make sense. So I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird.
It is weird. Now,
And if they had made
believe
it,
that.
and I'm sorry, if they had made a younger Boba Fett like they had in that film, I would have bought that too to go with Jango. I would have bought it.
Yeah.
So
oh yeah,
it's just-
It would have made so much sense. It
well,
definitely made so much sense.
yeah, Hot Toys it has bewildered me for a long time. I mean, I love their figures, obviously, but I don't understand what they decide to make. It's very weird.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I don't know what I don't know what. Put it this way, it's like you would think that if something's hot now, you would capitalize on it. But you would go deep. You would go all the way in. Like you would be like, okay, this is we got Thor: Love and Thunder. Let's put out a Valkyrie. Let's put out a Jane Foster. Like, you know what I mean? Let's do those things. They haven't done that. You know what I mean? It's just that Thor. You know what I mean? Maybe they're waiting. They might be just waiting, and I don't know if D23, they're not going to worry about that, but I don't know. Maybe they're waiting for the Marvel presentation at D23 to say, or even here's the thing, the con still isn't over. We still have tomorrow, but at the same time, they always put their figures out early, so it's kind of hard to gauge. I mean,
No, I don't think
what are
they're
they
going to
do now.
I don't think they're going
They
to.
can't do anything else.
No, they're not going to put anything new out. I mean, look,
Nah.
we don't even have cable.
And that's
Like-
been delayed again.
Yeah, of course, we don't have a cable.
Yeah.
And I look
Yeah,
at these things and I'm like,
definitely
where are these things? I mean, that's fine. I mean, the third party figures are killing it, and whether it's the X06 Star Trek figures, which I will buy everything they put out with the exception of Discovery figures.
so
I mean, I have to say,
but Anson, the character Pike, is part of the Discovery line. Just so
yeah,
you know.
no, I might buy Pike, and I'm gonna buy Philippa Georgiou, Empress, the Mirror Universe, Michelle.
Yeah, I'm
Yeoh.
definitely getting that one too.
I mean, I look, I would, like, I have no problem buying a Sonequa Martin Green figure. I just hate those Discovery uniforms so much. I hate them so much. I didn't pre-order her or Saru. I just, I mean,
thought
I
about
hate.
Saru, and then I was like, I don't really like what they did with his character.
No, it's the when it comes to Star Trek Picard season 3 though, I'd buy everything. This shit. What are you laughing about? Am I missing something?
Because I got this thing. So I got this. Every time you start talking about Star Trek, I got like this graphic that has smoke that comes out.
Yeah.
So every time you
It's
do
true.
it, it's like an emoji. It's like smoke. I just got it on my screen. It's so funny.
It's true. I mean, I can't help it.
Like,
I can't help it.
Your face gets real serious.
I mean, it's a problem.
Oh,
It's a
man.
problem.
But
It's a problem.
I get it.
There is something to be said for X06 because apparently they've thought about how they want to release figures, and they have a plan of how they do it, and they're very specific. And I heard, or from what I understand, they had said if you release an entire crew, people can't, they can't buy it that way. Like, people have favorite crews or favorite.
Oh yeah.
Favorite.
No, they're
If you release the whole crew at once, people can't buy them all. So they're doing it like in a 3-month period. You'll get another one, and then it's like gives you time to kind of recover.
Yeah.
Or even think of whether you want that figure or not.
But they put out figures for pre-order, and they're in your hands 3 months later. I mean, they're already way in advance, and they're doing some killer stuff. I mean, the last one they put out was Q, and I think the next one that comes out is Tuvok. Tim Russ is Tuvok.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the next one. I mean, and they're really servicing the entire fan base. They're doing this. Their motion picture figures are killer. I mean, they're really doing a great job. And they're doing. I think actually maybe the next figure that comes out, Cisco. And then.
You mean released? Like
that they're actually. No, I think that I want to say maybe the next figures that I paid for are. Is it Tuvok and Cisco? Maybe. They're definitely not a racist company like Hot Toys is.
Definitely not.
Sexist or racist. I mean, then they got 7 and 9 coming. I mean, I thought it was pretty interesting that they put out Janeway so early on.
Yeah, and it looks so much like Janeway. That
Yeah,
was just
it's a great. Their figures, their tailoring is great, and their accessories are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Kung Fu Hot Dog says, "Hail, gorgeous people! Denying slave Leia is just as ridiculous as Disney Marvel removing X-Men in favor of mutants.
yes.
Dumb move from a dumb company." Now, people have said that they're going to this whole idea of this movie called The Mutants so far is bunk. That is not a real release. By the way, should I you want me to do a reading from some of the Secret Invasion scripts right now?
Yeah, whatever you want.
I can't. But I do have them. I do have them. Actually, you know what? I probably could. Somebody's going to be like, "You don't really have them." Here. You want me? Would you like me to do an exclusive? Can I get in trouble for this? I don't know if I can get in trouble for this. I probably could get in trouble for this. But you know what?
Then don't do it.
No, I'm just going to see, because why not?
Just say,
I
"Oh
always
wow,
read
this part is
scripts.
good."
I don't know why. So let's see, because they know I love them. I love them all. Let's see. Hang on. Let me.
So you got some juicy insider information.
Oh, do I have juicy I have juicy insider information that could very well change your action figure displays.
Wow.
I'm only saying that. Whatever that might mean, I leave that up to you to decide.
This changes everything, Robert.
It changes everything. Now, okay, here we go. I found it. I found what I was looking for.
Just be careful, Robert. I don't want you to go ahead and say something you don't really want to.
Okay, let me see. Let me. Okay, first of all, so anybody. This is so it's a 6-episode series. This is the script for episode 6. I should not read this.
Don't do it.
No. Let me go back to.
But you can tell us how good it is. How's
that?
No.
Well, I haven't read all of it. So here's a funny thing. So they made Secret Invasion. The script cover is the project is called Jambalaya. They call it
Jambalaya. Tastes great.
And so I'm going to read you. I'll read you the opening, the teaser, the first. So they have the way scripts are written is they have scenes. So each. So this is the very first scene in Secret Invasion. Scene 1, exterior.
Are you sure you can read this? Are you sure?
Why can't I? I've got it. It's right in front of me. I didn't work on this show. I have no connection to Disney. So, and maybe what I'm reading isn't real. And if
could it be? Could you get a copyright strike if you read
it? Maybe. I don't know. Could I? Maybe I could. Let's see. You're right. Perhaps I shouldn't. How about this? Yeah, I really shouldn't. You're probably right. I don't want to get in trouble. But it would be kind of fun to read.
It'd be kind of fun to get your impression of it. Gee, this is pretty good. You guys have a lot to look forward to, kind of thought.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. But anyway, I have all 6 of these screenplays.
Wow.
Yeah. I have all 6 of them. Maybe people are like, read it. No, I probably shouldn't.
No, don't.
Last time I read script pages, I did get a copyright strike.
Yes,
but I will say this: somebody reported on Twitter, I read today, that they said that Secret Invasion in tone was much more along the lines of Falcon and Winter Soldier than other Marvel shows.
Oh, that's a surprise.
It is very much a globe-trotting espionage, hard-hitting action series.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it will make you change your action figure displays, but I won't elaborate further as to why that is.
In a good way or a bad way? Put it that way.
It really depends. It depends. It depends how you feel about some of your action figures. You'll want to get new head sculpts, I'll tell you that. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
I'm fine with that.
On some of those expensive figures, too.
Yeah, I'll get a bunch of new head sculpts and just buy some more Feist and bodies and clothes. I can just
I would say what would be interesting is if how should I put this? Hot Toys could make some money if they just sold head sculpts that fit certain figures they've previously released.
Mm-hmm.
I won't tell you what head sculpts I think they should be releasing.
Well, I've
I'm just
bought a ton of like bootleg Alibaba head sculpts, and
yeah, but
I'm
I mean,
not all entirely unhappy with them.
no, oh, I know, but what I'm saying is these head sculpts that you would pop on. So, like, say you had a figure, pick a character, pick any MCU character, pick your favorite MCU character, pick
How
your
about Cap?
Sure, Cap. Take a Cap figure. Now imagine if you had a different head sculpt that might not bear a striking resemblance to Steve Rogers for whatever reason. And what if you could get that head sculpt and pop it onto your Cap figure? Wouldn't that be cool?
I'm fine with it.
And if you could get a bunch of different head sculpts, varying, let's see, that were variations on a theme, you could pop them on all your figures.
Honestly, if there was somebody out there who could make your own head sculpts, like I'd order like 50 of them and put my head on like all these things.
Well, it would be your head sculpt. It would be someone else's head sculpt.
Yes,
who
and
doesn't
I would
look
buy.
like you.
Right? No, you're right. I understand, but I would buy.
They
I'd
could
buy
look
the
like
head
you,
sculpts.
though.
I'd-
If they wanted to, if you catch my drift. I think you all do.
Yes, I do understand what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's great that you can buy head sculpts anyway, and just have fun with it and switch them around. And I need a young head sculpt of Idris Elba. That's what I need.
Yeah, well, yes. That's funny you say that. So
Okay, I will say no more.
Bert asks, how about that Batterson hot toy figure?
I
thought-
love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
That's great.
There, I said it.
Yeah, I'll get that figure.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ahmed E says, I love this trio so much. You guys are killing it.
I also bought
Appreciate you, man.
the third party, the one, the third party Patterson one from some
art?
company. Yeah.
When he's the civilian.
Yes, he's in a suit. I
Yeah.
also picked that up.
That's a great figure.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait to get it.
Yeah, I can't wait to get that either. Well, okay, how about this? What other figures are you guys? I have to tell you, I ordered the Kingdom Come Superman from.
Oh, wow.
Did you
SSR.
guys see the caustic plastic Fonzie from Happy Days?
Yes, I did see it.
Oh my God,
It looks good.
that head sculpt was incredible.
It looks
Not
like
so
him.
much the smiling one, but the regular head sculpt is amazing.
They did a great job, especially on his nose, like this section of his face. It looks just like the fonts.
Oh, my God.
A beautiful figure.
Incredible. And then I heard that Homelander is going to come out next month, and maybe the Comedian is dropping.
The comedian from The Watchmen?
Yeah, the Comedian comes out next week, I think.
Now, is this through Soso?
Yeah, through Soso. Right, that's right.
And is it the comedian from the comics or the comedian from the movie?
From the movie.
So it's Dean.
It's Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
That was when people went into my garage when I was moving. They stole my Hot Toys Silk Spectre and my Hot Toys Comedian.
Oh, not the Silk Spectre.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was very
no.
upset about that, but not as much as I was upset about my my quarter scale Common Rider. But whatever. What can you do? What can you do? But yeah, so yeah, there's lots of, and then I guess did the Death God come out? The Dark Side, the Death God,
I don't know.
by 101 Toys. I think it did.
I don't know yet. I can look it up.
Yeah, I think that came out. I mean, I kind of have to get that because I've been getting the Zack Snyder. Have you been getting the Zack Snyder cut, the Justice League figures?
Yeah. Well, actually, I got my both the Nightmare Batman and the Superman, so I have that over here.
Yeah. But did
I
you get
wanna
like the Doomsday Reveler, the Joker, that Joker figure?
that? Well, see, that's the one I didn't get, but I did actually get the Doomsday Flash.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, so I did.
Yeah, I
that
got
one.
that, and I got the Mars Guardian, John Jones, and then but it looks like this Death God,
Let me see.
the
It
Death God,
looks
the 101
like-
Toys Death God. It hasn't come out. It says July to September.
Nah, yeah, it's still on pre-order, but I'm definitely gonna get it.
Yeah.
Like you have to get it. It's a must that you get that figure because
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you have, especially if you have, you know, Superman himself. If you have basically the Justice League Superman, the black suit version, and I have, it's a good thing you have both. But here's the thing: is it's like the Nightmare version was in his original suit, the red, the red and blue. You know what I mean? Like when you actually look at the film, he was in that suit at the very end of the Justice League. So yeah, but I'll definitely get it. I'll definitely get this.
By the way, the
Definitely.
So Trickster figure, the classic Loki, is I guess sold out like at Toys Wonderland and Comic Sanctorum. I love that
Yeah, it's sold
figure.
out
I have
everywhere.
that figure. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's sold out everywhere.
Yeah, it's such a great figure.
What is he wearing in that?
The classic Loki outfit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really, 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 really good.
Yeah, this Death guy looks good. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks, I mean, yeah.
I just
Well-
hope it's true to scale.
Well,
Definitely
I guess
hope
it
it's true to
is,
scale.
like it's a big scale, like the Kingpin, the oversized figures and stuff. So I would definitely want to get that.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, but they're, these figures, killing it, just killing
Yeah,
it.
they are.
Well,
They're definitely killing it, man.
I was going to say in regards to Lael, when you and I were at Star Wars Celebration, they did kind of premiere 2 other figures, which were pretty good. Like they were good figures, but they didn't impress upon me. And as I'd said this to you before, Lael, the way that the arena suit Boba Fett impressed upon me, like that, when I saw that figure, I like jumped out of my seat,
Yeah.
and I had to wonder to myself, it's like, why was I so impressed? So like what was so special about the arena suit versus the other 2 suits, one which was very similar in color. It was kind of like a darker colored outfit, and it was not super shiny. I think one of them was like a chrome color, but it was like maybe a muted chrome, not as shiny as I thought it would be.
You
I
talking
tried
about
to
the
figure it.
celebration?
Yes, and I
So you're
tried.
talking about like the clone, the clone troopers?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I tried to figure out. It's like, what is it? Why did the Boba Fett arena suit grab so many of us? And I think it's because, honestly, after seeing the series recently, fairly recently, a few months ago, it feels very badass. Like he's disguising himself, and he's now has to, he looks like a Mandalorian, but you can't tell it's Boba Fett because he's in pretty much in black. But then there are like these kind of matte sections to the clothing, and then very shiny parts. He made it sort of like a glossy black finish. It's like some kind of high priced, vehicle or something. Like this suit is a machine. And I thought to myself, it's satisfying to see it because we see him that way. We see him as this badass character, and it was a total win. Like it had, for me, if they had premiered that at Star Wars Celebration, that would have been like, people would have gone nuts once they saw that. But we got it later on. We got it, fairly recently, a few weeks ago or so. But I just find it amazing when they can hit all the marks with a figure, a classic figure that we've seen a million times, but then this redesigned figure that really, is makes such an impression on you. It's like you're reliving the joy all over again. It really is. I just really am so impressed with that figure.
Yeah, it's a fan. I mean, definitely. It's based off a comic run, definitely, which was a really decent comic run as well. But the thing is, it's a figure that we never saw coming, and didn't think that they would actually release. And like again, they're pretty much riding off of the success of the resurgence of Boba Fett, whether you like the show or not. Those
Right.
figures are incredible. So. They know they can actually and they did it in such a limited run. You know what I mean? So, You know, anybody who gets it, I mean, I actually pre-ordered it, so I actually have it on order. But yeah, I mean, it's a decent looking figure, and it looks like, I mean, because I've watched a few people who've actually had it or who have it, and it looks like it articulates well. You can pose it well, so yeah, I mean, I definitely can't wait to get it in hand and see what I can do with it. So it's an incredible piece.
I mean, there's so many good figures.
There
It's,
is. There's so many
it's
good figures dropping right now. But and here's because they were talking about this, and this is what we're running into because there were so many there, and there are so many figures out right now. But I think what's happening right now with 6 scale figures and Hot Toys in general, um, the market is not really that great right now. And what I
right.
mean by that is there's a lot of figures. I mean, if you're looking and you see that, you know, on Toys Wonderland, you know what I mean, there's this summer sale where they're marking down pretty much half their stock. You know what I mean? You now see that sideshows, you know, adding like 10% off on certain stock, like, you know, trying to get rid of it and deplete. Because the thing is, it's like, look, if you've you know, ordered these big batches of figures and they haven't sold, you're sitting on them right now. You have to make money
Yeah.
some way. But I think it's one of the situations where right now with the economy and based on the economy, a lot of people aren't pre-ordering figures. They're not. They're just waiting. So they're trying to rekindle somehow. But it's just a lot. Like when you see these figures, you know, I guess is my question is, will we get to a point where there's an oversaturation of 6 scale figures, whereas like you don't know where to choose, you got to kind of limit what you purchase because you need to be smart about it. You know, are we going to run into that situation? What do you think?
Well, you know, I think the problem is that we're in inflation. We're heading for a recession. I
Yeah.
think people don't have the money. The
Yeah,
prices
true.
have gone up. Gas prices alone have gone up to
Huge,
the
bro.
point where
Yeah.
it's a huge problem. You know, and I think that is, as I sit here fulfilling Toys Wonderland orders, you know, I just am paying some shipping costs right here. Uh,
Yeah.
so anyway, but shh, don't tell anybody. Yeah, I'm processing. I have to get my additional verifications.
You just paid off some orders.
Well, shipping. I had some shipping. Like I'm putting this in. They ask for additional information, and well, you know what I did get in. You know what I finally got in. I ordered it almost 2 years ago. Was the Thanos Throne?
You finally got it.
Yeah, they after 2 years, and I've got, you know, I bought the 3. I don't have the Guardians of the Galaxy Thanos anymore in the chair because he's too small anyway. So I have the 3 the Thani. So I've got the 3 Thanoses that I'm gonna put. So I'm doing my you know, redoing my display, and I'm gonna do it like movie poster style. So I want to have like in the middle the Thanoses. So there's gonna be 2012 Thanos with his thing sitting in the throne. Then there's going to be the Infinity Gauntlet Thanos crying, Thanos, and then there's going to be Infinity Gauntlet, or there's going to be Infinity War Thanos snapping his finger. So you've got that's going to be the center, and then the 3 Maja cases, the DF60s, go all the way across, and I have the whole tableau, and I've got on one side Ultron and Red Skull, and so.
So you're just going to kind of create like that shrine, like that. Yeah, I got you. That's gonna be incredible, bro. But I'm just surprised you finally got that thing, man.
Dude, I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Wait, what?" It came after 2 years. I don't know. I do not know. And it finally, you know, my Thani or whatever you want to call it. I'm like, okay,
so,
sure.
One thing I want to ask you about, Rob.
Yes, sir.
Question: what do you feel about? How do you feel about this whole thing that is currently transpiring with Zack Snyder? Like, what do you think about this whole thing where now we have Warner Brothers coming out and saying there's no future plans for Zack Snyder's universe or rehashing on a Justice League 2, you know, with, you know, Zack Snyder? Like they're kind of like severing, you know, severing their
yeah, I mean, they've moved on. As a matter of fact, that Rolling Stone article is really illuminating, and I've received further information through third parties I can't discuss I mean, I thought that Rolling Stone article was kind of a hatchet piece, you know. And once again, I did a Robservations about it. Once again, it blames fandom, you know, and I think here's the thing. Ultimately, Warner Brothers really treated Zack Snyder poorly. The regime now, the regime that runs, it's 2 regimes ago. The new Warner Brothers Discovery regime, then there was the AT&T regime that owned Warner Brothers that actually got the Snyder Cut finished. And then you go back even further, there's the Kevin Tsujihara regime that Zack Snyder was dealing with. They treated him horribly. And I think that all of this started when the people that were running Warner Brothers just decided, basically 3 movies in, you know, they looked at Man of Steel. Man of Steel might not have made $1 billion. It was still successful. And then they were looking at Batman v Superman as it was being made, and they thought they had the biggest hit in the world. And then when it turned out to be 3 hours, they had to cut it down. And Zack Snyder, what's so interesting about that is if you look at Watchmen, there's 3 different cuts of Watchmen. There's a theatrical cut, there's a longer version, and then there's the Ultimate Edition that has the animated Black Freighter sequences in it. And, you know, Zack Snyder has done extended versions of Dawn of the Dead. He has extended versions of 300. He has extended versions of Sucker Punch. So he's a team player. He's like, you know, I'll do different versions of my movies. It's okay. But the whether you like Zack Snyder's, I love Man of Steel. I loved it because I see it as a science fiction film, a first contact film. When I saw, there's a lot of stuff in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice that I don't like, but for the most part, I like the Ultimate Edition because I feel like I'm listening to either a Meatloaf album version of Batman and Superman, if that makes Bat Out of Hell, you know, the whole what was the name of his songwriter? I forget the guy's name. God, it's on the tip of my tongue. The guy who wrote all of Meatloaf's songs. But I feel like we're watching some like prog rock or some, you know, like art metal version of a Batman Superman movie. So the ultimate version of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, I actually like quite a bit. Now, was it the movie I would have made? No. But it's like I used to do Midnight Metal, and it's fucking metal, dude. The whole thing came out, fuck yeah, dude. And it's, you know, when you hear Wonder Woman's theme, I mean, I'm like, I love all that shit. I'm like, you know, that, and to me, it's totally different. It's a singular Zack Snyder, you know, the slow motion Superman coming down, and like I don't think it's a particularly good movie, but as a tableau of comic iconography, I love it. I kind of love it. But the fact that that Metropolis and Gotham are across the bay from one another, that's fucking dumb. And the fact that Superman never like flew over to Gotham City and used his X-ray vision and watched Batman fight crime. So it's so weird. The whole thing is so like you're supposed to believe these two guys don't know each other. And it's like, come on. If Superman was across the bay from Gotham, he'd fly over there all the time. You know, he was just because you think he wouldn't hear some criminal going, "This Batman's branding me with a batarang." Like he wouldn't. Come on. So there's lots of and the young Lex Luthor. There's so much goofy stuff in that movie. Be that as it may. That said, I kind of love it. I don't think it's a particularly good movie, but I kind of love it. And now here's the thing: the executives at Warner Brothers knew exactly what they were getting. It's not like they don't get to watch dailies every single day. So by the time Zack Snyder is deep into making Justice League, and the Warner Brothers executives, you had a regime that was they weren't just fucking with Zack Snyder, they were fucking with David Ayer too. Like they destroyed Suicide Squad. You know, he was kicked off the movie. They were re-editing the film. These executives are not filmmakers. So the Warner Brothers executives, they had the AT&T merger coming. They wanted to make sure they had the company was profitable. And Batman v Superman, I heard it cost as much as $450 million, and it didn't even make $900 million worldwide. So it was a disappointment. But the problem is, those executives, unlike Marvel, they're just like, well, Avengers made $1.5 billion. Why aren't we getting that money? I'm like, because you didn't do the work. Yeah. Like, you didn't do the work. That, you know, Marvel systematically built up their characters before they started teaming them up in the same movies. And I think that, so all this, like, the fact that Zack Snyder, and let's face it, I'll tell you right out, that Zack Snyder did a lot of fan outreach. He was brilliant.
Yeah.
When the opportunity arose, and you know, people still to this day go, Rob Burnett, you were such a liar. You didn't support the Snyder Cut. And I'm like, it's not that I didn't support the Snyder Cut. From a person who works in Hollywood, I was saying this is never going to happen because there was no one who would pay for it. There was, and I kept saying, people thought that the Snyder Cut was done. There's this idea that, oh, it was done, Rob. They can just release it. I'm like, it's not done. It was a work in progress. And I had always said there's tens of millions of dollars that have to go into this movie. And, of course, I got attacked every time I said that. I was proven, by the way, to be absolutely correct, you know. And then when you hear about things like, I appreciate Zack. I love the fact that Zack Snyder was shooting shit in his backyard, and he wasn't even approved to do so. Because he can. You can call up, hey, like, Ben, you know, we're shooting this Nightmare Batman sequence. Can you come to my house? We're just going to set up a green screen in the backyard. I'll shoot it myself. And they did that. He did all that. And he did whatever he could to have his vision of the movie released. And you know what? If he was going to mobilize his fans and was unscrupulous, I'm like, good for you, dude. Good for you. You got fucked by that studio. And you got fucked. And not only that, not only did he get fucked, but I mean, people say, oh, you know, Zack Snyder couldn't do it because he had a tragedy in he had a terrible tragedy in his family. I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
Yeah.
But that didn't mean you have to go replace him as director and bring in Joss Whedon to completely redo your film. And I mean,
and rewrite his film,
and it didn't work. No, it wasn't. I mean, they completely screwed him over.
It was terrible. It was a terrible, decision for them on their part to do that, man.
So all of this, I blame Warner Brothers, the previous regime, not the regime now, 2 regimes ago. And when you hear that Kevin Tsujihara was actually having an extramarital affair with this hot actress, and that they wanted to get their bonuses from the AT&T merger, and they were being very reactionary. And this is my problem with modern Hollywood. I think it's a cautionary tale. Yeah. If you ran a business, if you're a captain of industry and you run, say, a steel smelting company, and you're the guy on top, you know how a steel smelting company works. You know it because you probably work your way up. The people that run the studios in Hollywood don't know how to make movies. Most of them have never made movies. And so when they're looking at dailies, they don't know what to look for. They don't understand. You might watch a 5-minute daily of a scene, and the director knows of that 5 minutes, we're going to use 3 seconds of it. I know exactly where it's going to go. But the executives don't.
They have no idea.
They can't know. They don't know how to tell what they're even looking at. Yeah. And that's what's frustrating, is now you have a whole class of people in Hollywood that call them the gatekeepers. They run the studios, and they don't know how to make movies. Yeah. And it's becoming, it's a problem. And then they go in and they do things like, we're going to hire a trailer company to cut a movie. Well, trailers are a very different art form than cutting narrative. And
you're talking about cutting an entire film versus like a 30-second or a 2-minute trailer,
which doesn't have to have continuity in its editorial. And it
exactly
was problematic. And look, I am very happy. I kind of love Zack Snyder's Justice League. Do I love all of it? No, but I love what it is. It's this 4-hour, overblown 70s prog rock album cover, glorious mess of a movie that I love. I do love it. I have to say I love everything about it. Is it a great movie? I don't think it's particularly a great movie, but it's a lot of great sequences. And like the scene with the Flash, all the stuff with Cyborg. I mean, I love
that scene with Flash in the end was probably one of my favorite scenes. I love that scene. When they came together at the very end, you know, they killed it. They killed that scene. That was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I put that on all the time. Just, you know what? It's great wallpaper because I just love all the superhero moments in it. I just look at it and like, do I have like does it have scenes in Endgame where I love the scene in Endgame where Cap talks to Natasha. They like, how's it going? You know, 5 years after the blip, and she just sits down. And she's like, I'm just trying to keep it all together, and it's just a scene. There's nothing like that in Zack Snyder's movies. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get 2 superheroes just talking to each other. You're going to get these. Every frame is a painting, and it's amazing. and I love that
It's
stuff.
a paint. It's a painting. How it's actually colored, the slow motion. Like
Yeah.
you can actually focus. It's like straight up like cinema focus on the face as the scene just kind of goes past. Like
Yeah, and it's
Got
like
that.
I bought an Alex
Yeah.
Ross portfolio or something, and I
Yeah,
like
pretty much,
and I
yeah.
like that.
I love it, yeah,
Do
yeah.
I like the Norwegian fisherman ladies singing a song to Aquaman for 5 minutes while he jumps into the water?
And
No.
smelling his sweater.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't. That probably could have been. I might have cut that out. But I love watching Aquaman in slow motion go under the water and watching the waves going. That.
Yeah.
And it's because that movie. The thing about Zack Snyder's Justice League, that movie captured how I thought of the DC superheroes when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, this DC pantheon was. As a matter of fact, when I even played with my figures, I think I played with them in slow motion.
Yeah.
Just because that's how I thought of it. Like the Marvel
That's how you
characters are
see
like
it, yeah.
these down-to-earth dudes. The Marvel characters are demigods. The demigods and the DC characters are gods. They sometimes come down to hang out with us mortals. But that's kind of what
Yeah.
Zack Snyder's Justice League did. It was
Yeah.
like watching a movie about the gods of Olympus.
Exactly. Like you said, it was just more of like him creating an art piece that doesn't include a lot of, continuity and dialogue. Like it doesn't, you know what I mean? It's just more so just a beautiful piece that you see, a beautiful display. Though I, as far as his interpretation of the Justice League versus,
I think we
Joss
lost.
Whedon.
I think we lost.
Yeah, we did. She froze.
She froze.
She froze and disappeared. We lost her a while ago.
Wow, I feel terrible.
Yeah, we lost her. I don't know where she's at.
Oh, she's back now.
There she is. There she is. There
Where
she
did
goes. What happened?
Here I am.
We had a power outage.
Oh no!
Oh, okay.
I was like in my reverie talking about it, even though it's
Yeah.
typical dude
It
not paying
was stuck on your
attention.
hair billowing.
Oh,
Your hair was billowing. That's what was stuck on.
oh gosh.
And
I'm
now
sorry.
and now we're stuck too. We're frozen now too.
Are we?
Oh,
yeah.
are you?
Yeah. So hang on.
Uh-oh.
Let me see
I
if I
hope
can.
not.
Let me see if I can fix this. Hang on.
I just got connected.
I think. Okay. I think we're gonna get back. Maybe.
Did she freeze again?
We're like we are totally I think we are frozen.
Really? Because I see us. I'm looking at us on screen, and we look fine.
Oh no. Do we look fine? Okay.
Yeah, we look fine. It's just that she. Well, hold
Oh
on.
no. Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Now we're back. We're back.
Yeah, we're back. We're definitely back.
But is still frozen. I think we lost.
Yeah, she's gone again.
She's gone again.
She
Well-
just looks really high right now on screen. Like she's stoned right now. She looks like she's stoned.
You never know what's going to happen on Midnight Musings. Kinky Sphincter, member for 14 months, still an imagination connoisseur. Thank you
Yo.
for Kinky Sphincter.
Yo.
I don't know who this is. Member for 14 minutes. That was Kinky Sphincter. Mikey Lito asks, do you think Disney corporate limited Thor 4 to 2 hours? Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
They definitely did.
I absolutely do. And I think that's a bummer. I mean, when we heard about the people they cut out of the movie, like Jeff Goldblum and Peter Dinklage, I mean, come on, what's that about? Tom Jr. Jackson says, Rob, I think screen is frozen, and you would be correct, sir. Adrian Barraza says, hey, Rob, do you have any statues or busts? Do you normally collect them? I recently started my Hot Toys collection, but some of the statues, like the Venom bust I just purchased from Sideshow, are awesome. It's getting freaking pricey. Well, Lael, I mean, I used to have a lot more statues, and I kind of stopped collecting statues.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
think? I think you're frozen too.
Am I froze?
I think you're frozen too. I think the
Am I?
only person who's not frozen is me.
Well, I still see. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good.
I don't.
But it's like what we're sending out to the. Oh no, maybe not. Or
No, it's not me. I think it's just still.
Oh no, you're not frozen. You're not frozen. You're
Yeah,
good.
it's just the baked version of. Yeah. So
the baked version.
she's baked. She's half baked right
It's
now.
a wake and bake.
Yeah. But no, here's the thing. Like it is, bro. Like I said, the expense on everything right now is crazy. So it's more so with me. Like for instance, the only two important statues. Like for instance, I got that Storm statue from Sideshow. Love it. I love the piece. It's incredible. Like I mean, when they do statues, bro, they kill it. The other two statues that I have coming are the Revan that I got from XM, and then also the Wonder Woman that I actually got from Queen Studio. So those are the only two statues right now that I actually have coming. And also I put a pre-order on for the Rosario Dawson Ahsoka premium format from Sideshow. So because it's an amazing piece, but I'm really selective about what I actually choose because of course, you know, I'm still within that 6 scale realm. You know, I still have my figures that I collect. You know, but so I have to be, you know, and now getting into vehicles with this big ass Batmobile. It's just one of those situations where I got to limit myself when it comes to like statue collecting because it is an expense, especially if we're talking about J&D, especially if we're talking about a few of the Queen Studio pieces or XM Studio pieces. It just depends. Like, I mean, you got to be, you know, in this day and age, you know, especially now with the economy, you have to be extra careful about what you collect. So especially when it comes to expense, man, like we want everything, but it's like shit, everything is just so expensive right now. So you have to kind of like be selective.
That's the thing. I mean, like figures and it's I do like from I got the 66 Batmobile coming, the Snow Speeder, and the Batwing coming from the 89 Batwing coming from Jazz Inc. And I want to get the rest of the Millennium Falcon cargo bay because I have the original cargo bay.
I saw that. Yeah.
And which I like, but even that, the expanded version doesn't fit in a Maji case.
Nah.
What am I going to do with that? I mean, I don't know.
So let me ask you. So so say for instance, if Hot Toys releases that N1 Starfighter, would you get it?
Yeah, because I can hang it from the ceiling.
There you go.
You know,
see, I'm hoping that they release it, bro.
But you know, they're making it in, like the Batwing. They're making it in 1/12 scale.
The Batwing, yeah.
They're making the Batwing, and they're making Hot Toys and the N1 Starfighter. They're doing in 1/12 scale, but they have a 1/6 scale version. Here's the thing about Hot Toys has never made any Star Wars vehicles at scale. They didn't do they didn't do the Millennium Falcon cockpit. They didn't do the TIE Fighter that they said they were going to make. They didn't do any. They've never done it. They didn't do the Jedi Starfighter, which I would have bought. That was so cool.
Nope, they sure didn't.
And they showed it. They showed all those things. And now, like where I'm at now, like I'm in the new Robservatory is another garage, but this is my garage now, and I have plenty of space to hang shit from the ceiling. Plenty. So a lot of my larger spaceships and my model rockets and things, my Playmate or my Playmobil Enterprise that Martino got me is huge. I'm going to hang it, and it even comes with these hanging things so you can hang it. It's going to be right when I'm pulling my desk back, and you'll be able to come in here and it'll look like my bedroom when I was like 11 that had like 150 model rockets and planes. I'm just going to hang a bunch of shit from the ceiling because why not? But
why
to have
not?
that,
you can do so.
Yeah, and to have that N1 Starfighter, I mean, if they make that, I would buy it, but they're not going to make it.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so because for Hot Toys, where are they going to store those in their whatever warehouse they're going to have, and they have to ship them, and it makes it incredibly expensive because they're huge. But I would love to get it. I mean, you know, I like the N1 Starfighter. I didn't particularly love Phantom Menace, and I thought that battle at the end that they were in was kind of lame, but I liked the design and the use of it in The Mandalorian. They basically turned that N1 Starfighter, which was like this beautiful 60s California Corvette, they turned it into an X-Wing by beating the hell out of it and taking off the cowling. And it was kind of like when they added in Clone Wars, was it Clone Wars or Rebels? They made the Y-Wing fighters. You got to see in Clone Wars. You got to see them pristine.
Clone Wars,
when they have the covering. I mean, they even Hasbro made a model of it, like for the figures. That was awesome. Yeah. I love seeing the Mandalorian version of the Naboo Starfighter because it's so with the exposed.
It's like a modified version. You get
it's
a chance
awesome.
To see. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so good. I mean, I love it so much. But I would get that, but I don't think they're going to make it. And if they do make
I
it,
hope so.
I mean, I would you? Are you going to get it?
Oh hell yeah, if they make it. Yep.
I mean,
I'll
come on,
definitely get it.
putting a
I would definitely
Mandalorian
get
and a Grogu in that thing.
And they basically, because here's the thing, if you go on their site, they actually have that starship. They have the M1 battle, the M1 fighter, but then they also have in a separate category the Mandalorian Grogu set, which they zoom in to the cockpit of the M1 to kind of display those figures. So I'm wondering if they're customizing or making custom figures to fit that starship if they release it. But again, that's if they release it. You know what I mean? So it's just one of the things we got to kind of wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I mean, I totally would.
It looks good. Like, it looks real good. But I just hope they don't just kind of fake us out and just not do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would hate, because they put so much emphasis on it. Like, they've showed us a video with it. Like, it's so much that they've done thus far. So I guess we just got to kind of wait and see.
Hey, I want to ask you to do something. I'm going to try and disconnect
What's that?
this. I'm just going to disconnect you. I want you to reconnect. I would disconnect you and see if I can get back.
Okay.
So I'm just going to disconnect you quickly and come back right away. Just jump back on right away. I'm just going to disconnect you
I got you.
for a second. So here I'm going to do that. So folks, bear with me for 1 minute. I'm going to disconnect Lael and see if I can get everybody back on the stream. Okay, and then I'm going to reconnect to the previous session and see if I can get. Okay, I got Lael back, but I don't know if I have if she can get back in. We'll see. If you're watching, if you're trying to get back, please. I don't know. We'll see. We'll leave her question mark there. Will she get back in? Who knows? So I mean, that's by the way, Tom Jr. Jackson said that the stream is fine. Lael is not frozen. Okay, that's good. So since we're talking about collecting and people have asked questions, and you're the 1/6 scale man, where are you at? Like, they're making they're making a lot of great stuff now. Yeah. But I think in a way there's almost too much.
There is.
I think we're getting to the point where there's too much, and what do you decide? What do you decide to buy?
So right now, again, like I said, there's only 2 figures right now that I've actually pre-ordered. One. I'll say one. One figure that I pre-ordered, and that's the Obi-Wan, because I have confidence they're going to and I wanted to get that. I got that through Sideshow, mainly because it is that additional accessory that comes with the piece, with both the sabers inside of the actual case that he buried.
Right. That's the Obi-Wan.
Yeah, so I pre-ordered that one only, and I did that through Sideshow, but I haven't pre-ordered anything else, man, because the thing is, it's like I don't have the full confidence right now. It's just way too much, and you have to be selective, and it's like going back, looking at some of the ones that were just revealed last year that we're still waiting on. Like, we're still waiting on Bo-Katan. We're still waiting on the Rosario Dawson Ahsoka. We're still basically waiting on Cable. We're still waiting on that Loki that never dropped. That would have been the last figure in the Endgame line. There's so much that we're basically waiting on right now. So it's just like, why, we have those, yet you're giving us reveals on new, figures that, we're not going to see for another maybe 2 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
if ever.
Right. If ever, you know what I mean? So right now I'm just in a position where I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to pre-order. I'm just going to wait. And once it comes out, once I see production photos, if it's meant for me to have it at that point, I will. I just stick to the ones that have a higher level of importance and I have a connection to, and I just deal with that. Like, everything else, I'm like, yeah, I'll wait. I'll definitely wait. It looks great, but I'll definitely wait. I'll wait.
Well, yeah. I mean, we kind of don't have a choice. I mean, it's such a weird time, I think, and it's because so much is coming out, and it's like, I mean, everything is cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't understand. I think a lot of these companies are going to find themselves in a world of hurt because there's only so much money to go around.
Yeah. And that's the biggest problem. There's only so much. And then on top of that, like I said, you're saturating the market. And you still have, and I think this, like, these large quantity of figures that like certain companies like Sideshow is still sitting on. they're still sitting on the Infinity War Thanos, I believe, and they still have the clean version of Thanos, the battle damage of Thanos that's going to probably sit. And even though that was like one of the marquee villains of like pretty much that entire Infinity Saga, so it's like, it's sort of like as a company, like, do they lower their batches? No, I don't think they're going to actually do that. But it's just like a risk in putting out pre-orders towards figures, not knowing if you're going to get anything back from it. A lot of people are canceling pre-orders now, especially on some of the figures that might have been delayed, because it's like, all right, when I'm going to get them? It's you waited too long, and it's like that ship is sailed. So I don't know. It's really tricky, but it's just like, yeah, I think they're But here's the thing, what sparks this level of innovation is because you have like companies like InArt that is pretty much basically a threat in a sense,
right?
Because they basically are putting out certain figures. They're taking the time, developing the sculpted hair, stuff like that. The only advantage is the simple fact that Hot Toys, we've known for years when it comes to releasing 1/6 scale figures, you know what I mean? But as far as InArt, we haven't even gotten that Joker figure yet to really decide whether or not this company is valid. You know what I mean? So it's like that's the only one up that Hot Toys will forever have over companies like that. So again, I mean, it's just a wait type of situation just to see how everything goes. We love Hot Toys, but they're being forced to kind of evolve and to push certain things and to bring out certain things and to upgrade, these head sculpts. Because they, like, for instance, you see that Peacemaker?
Oh yeah, look at that! How they changed it.
We got that everything about it.
Do you know what's funny? I mean, I bet they did not have John Cena's.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, they didn't have his likeness, and they went because that's why when he was screaming, they didn't have to get it. But I think that John Cena was probably like, "What the fuck?
What's this?
Yeah,
who's that? That's not me. Don't put that out there. Here's me. Like, this is whatever." And it looks great. They gave us a seamless body, which they probably partnered with like some company like TB League or another company to get that body with the seamless arms. I mean, it looks incredible. Like, it looks really, really decent. It's worth buying, especially for people who might get that Bloodsport figure. You'll have that to kind of, as a companion piece. Like, I mean, hell, like it looks good. But it's like, when you think about it, why does it take us, us kind of rallying together to force them to make these changes when they should have just kind of waited and did it in the very beginning?
Well, I don't know. And that figure looks great.
Yeah,
and I think that face sculpt is really good, but it's bizarre they didn't. Why are they selling that stuff to us in the first place?
Yeah, like why is it taking? I don't know. And then on top of that, wasn't there when InArt basically released their slate for 2020 going into 2023, and this was even before we got the pre-order for Joker? What did Hot Toys do? They put out a disclaimer stating that it's going to be a quicker response when it comes to the release of these figures. So they're going to, pretty much it's not going to be like a 2-year wait. It's going to be a shorter run. But that hasn't happened yet. Like, everything that they're doing right now is still like maybe 1 or 2 years or 2 years out. So
right.
Interesting.
No, it's frustrating as well too.
Hell yeah, it's super frustrating.
Yeah,
it's definitely super frustrating. So I don't know what they're gonna, how they're gonna. Again, the market for figures right now is really, really shaky. Like, it really is shaky because people are, watching their money. They're like, yeah, I'll wait. There's not a lot of pre-orders to go around right now. So.
No, it's a very interesting. It is a very interesting time. But I'm still gonna collect.
Yeah, we're still
gonna get stuff we like.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Let's see. Do I have any? No one's got. No, we're caught up on super chats and everything. No, well, let me ask you this.
What's up?
So, how are you? One other thing is obviously we just finished up with Miss Marvel, which I really enjoyed. I thought Miss Marvel was terrific.
Loved it.
And I'm looking. It made me look forward to the Marvels. We have tomorrow is a big day. We've got the Marvel panel at Comicon.
Yes,
where I'm sure they're going to show footage from Wakanda Forever, which is a very mysterious movie. We don't really know what's in it. Gilbert, all my dogs are in here right now. We don't know what's happening. We don't know what's going on here. Since Gilbert's here, okay. You want to come up? You want to be on? You want to be on the show? Come here. Come on, Gilbert. Come up here. Come on. Come on. Oh, can you see him?
Yeah.
Come on, Gilly. You want to come up? Come on up. Yep. Come up. There you go, buddy. All right. You take that. I know how much you like that. That's how it's good, right? Yeah. There you go. Tallulah's like, what do I get? But yeah, these dogs. But so how do you feel about what's coming up from Marvel, and what do you anticipate may be happening at the Marvel panel tomorrow? We got Guardians coming. You got the Werewolf by Night holiday special for Halloween. You know, we've got Marvels coming. We got Guardians 3 coming. Do you think there's going to be like? I maintain that I either think they're going to announce Deadpool 3, and they might have Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman show up, or they're going to announce the cast and director of Fantastic Four. That's what I think is going to happen tomorrow. In terms of, and they're going to show a Wakanda Forever trailer. They're going to show, probably a footage or whatever. But I really do believe that.
You think we're going to get the cast tomorrow?
You
think we're going to get the cast tomorrow? Here's why I agree with you. Here's why I agree with you when it comes to Fantastic Four. I don't care. Okay, I don't care what people say. D23 is one thing, but Hall H at Comicon is a totally different experience.
Right. It is.
It's a totally different experience. And what way to just kind of, take the world by storm, especially with the first year back for Comicon since 2019. Like, what's a better way to basically do it than to announce a heavy hitter like Fantastic Four? What better way? You know what I mean? Like, if you to announce the cast of the Fantastic Four would be amazing for them to do at Comic-Con instead of waiting for D23. Now, will they do it? Who knows? But it would be smart, and I would hope that they would actually do something like that. Of course, we know we're getting Wakanda Forever as far as a trailer or sizzle reel trailer, whatever you want to actually say it is. We'll definitely get, some updates on She-Hulk. We'll definitely get some updates on, what's the new Marvel slate going forward. But I think as far as a heavy hitter, Fantastic Four at Comic-Con. I mean, come on, man. That's like the chef's kiss right there. Like, why wouldn't you do something like that? Especially to capitalize on the simple fact it's the first year back. All of media is talking about that. Anytime my local news here is talking about Comic-Con and SDCC San Diego, it's like, come on, man. So I think, to make a splash, it makes more sense to do it at Comic-Con. So I hope they do. I even heard you say, like, what was it, like a week or about 2 weeks ago, you were like, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually gave us information on Eternals too.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. But I think that's all those things that are unannounced would happen at D23.
Yeah. Those will. But it's just like, when I think of D23, I just think that, with Comic-Con, there's just more access. It's more personal. D23 is more personal, but Comic-Con is for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just the way
for sure.
I don't know. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely see how that goes.
Well, listen, man. I've kept you for 2 hours.
Yes.
This has been a good show. For you, it's what, 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning.
It is 2 in the morning. Yes, 2 o'clock.
Well, I think it's been a good show.
Yes, it has.
I'm gonna invite some randos on.
Okay.
Because I feel bad that isn't here.
Yeah, definitely.
But let me ask you before I say goodbye, where can people find you online?
You can find me on the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube channel. So definitely you can find me over there. Great content. We got Collectors Lounge International coming up on Sunday. So you can find me there. Again, we're under 200 more. Actually, get under like about maybe 180 subscribers away from hitting 3,000.
Wow, man, that's great.
From 3K. So I'll actually hit that pretty soon. So if you haven't subscribed, so make sure you subscribe to the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube channel.
By the way, everybody do that now. If you're watching this channel and you're not subscribed to 1/6 Scale Man on YouTube, 1/6 Scale Man,
1/6
That's
scale.
Lael.
Man, yeah.
Go subscribe to his channel right now. Go do it
Go
now.
ahead to subscribe. We had collectors or Figure Flex Friday today. We created the new Figure Flex Friday Facebook page where you can actually put your pictures there. We display them every Friday. So yeah, you can actually find me there on that channel. And yeah, that's it, man. Thanks for having me tonight, man. Thanks for the Midnight Musings always is a good place to be. Can't wait to see you back. And yeah, let's go.
All right. Well, Lael Rockwell, thank you so much for being here. You'll be back next week. We'll have more to talk about. A lot of post-Comicon nuggets. Tomorrow's a big day. DC and Marvel.
Yes, it is.
Both Hall H panels. We're going to see what they've got to show us.
All right.
And Gilbert's excited. I know, buddy. You're going to find out if they're going to make a Never-Ending Story 3 or 4. Because he looks like Falcor the Luck Dragon.
Falcor the Luck Dragon, right?
Yeah.
I used to think Falcor was a puppy when I did think it was a puppy. Face looks just like a puppy. So yeah.
Totally.
Exactly, man.
Well, thank you for being here. Odai Alamani says it's 2 a.m, gang. Well, Odai, cool. I've always loved the name Odai. It's a cool name. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Kelly Rhodes in the chat says he already subscribes to Lael.
Thank you so much,
Darth
man.
Plato says hit the like. So thank you guys. And
thank you very much.
All right, Lael, I will be letting you go. Thanks for being here, man. Oh, wait.
Right, man.
Hang on. Wait a second. Wait. Wait. Oh, well, she was... She's going to be there. I was going to hang on.
Yeah, I see you.
I can hear you. I'm looking to see if I can perhaps add you. Hold on. No. It's. Let me see if I can. Hang on. Let me see if I can put you in. Put you in, Coach. I was just saying goodbye to Lael because I felt bad that you weren't here. So let me see if I can get you in. Wow, there you are. Okay. Oh, look at that. You're here. So
you are here.
Let me just get you in. So I was just saying goodbye, but since it's good to have you here, so hey, you've made it back. And hey, wait, hang on. You sound great too. What's the difference? Okay, now you're back in the show. So
I'm on
what
another
happened?
Computer. I had a power outage earlier.
By the way,
today.
your sound on this computer is awesome.
Yeah, well, this is an Apple. This is an Apple. Like, this is a much better piece of equipment, but I didn't use it because someone told me that you can't use, I guess, StreamYard or Wirecast on an Apple, or there's some weird thing about it. So I don't usually use this computer, but
oh, you should. You look good. You sound good.
Thank you. Part of the problem was earlier I was actually on a stream and all the power went out in the entire house.
Wow.
And I've been having trouble with my computers since then. And I looked it up. There was something that said it was a WebSocket error. I've never even heard of this before. Like, I don't know what that means, but I'm going to have to call my internet service provider and have them come and look at the line and everything, because I've never had that type of an error. So I apologize, guys. I'm sorry that happened. Yeah, I was not expecting that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, it's all good. So, all fantastic. Well, listen, I was going to get off the stream, though.
Well, then I'll just say goodnight.
Where can people find you online?
Oh, guys, you can find me on my YouTube channel, Positive Fandom. And I do want to thank everybody in the chat and, of course, Robert, you, as well as Lael, for supporting my channel, Positive Fandom.
Yes.
Which is on YouTube, which is also on Twitch, and it's also on Odyssey now. So you can find me on all 3 platforms. Thank you for everybody who helped me get to 1,000 subscribers last week. I appreciate it. But of course, you guys can always find me here on the Post-Geek Singularity, on Midnight Musings, or reruns of Midnight Metal, or any of the shows here, PGS All-Stars and PGS Reviews. But you can also find me on Sunday mornings at 10:30 a.m. on Positive Fandom for my Sunday brunch show. So it's a live show on my channel. Monday nights, you can usually find me on Toxic Femininity with Lorena Creole and Nina Infinity at 8 p.m. Sometimes on Wednesdays and Thursdays, you can find me on the 1/6 Scale Man Network. Either on Say What or Uncivilized Scoundrels. You can also find me streaming with Lorena Creole on our show Toxic Male Appreciation, which usually streams on Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern on her Twitch channel. On Fridays at 12 p.m., you can find me on Midnight's Edge in the morning with Tom and Andre. And definitely you can check me out there. And on my channel in the community web page section, you can find where I'm going to be streaming that day. And I have many more programs coming. I have a historical films program that I filmed, but I haven't shown it yet for a number of reasons. But it's going to start this week, along with some Indian films that I'm going to be reviewing. So, guys, please do check it out.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, you two. Well, I'm going to let you go.
All
and
right.
thank you for being here. Another fine show.
All day.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh
Man,
wait,
thanks.
wait. There is one thing.
Oh,
There's
yes.
one thing.
And then you froze.
And then she froze.
There's one. Damn it. Hang on.
Let's
Let me see
say
if I can bring it
connection
back.
problem.
Hang on. Wait. I'll bring you both back. Hang on. Nope. She
She's
froze
still
and
froze.
she was gone. Damn it. Well, Lael, I
Yes.
guess this is it. We're gonna have to wonder forever what the one
Yeah, man,
last
definitely.
thing was.
She'll,
right.
She'll come back and say it later.
I know. She'll come back and say it. Well, gentlemen, lady,
All right.
I will see you guys later. See you next week.
All right. See you, bro. See you
All right,
later.
man. That was Lael Rockwell, and of course, and of course, I've got my dogs here, and they're come on, Gilly. So what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen now is I'm gonna bring you guys on. That's right. If you want to come on the show, and hopefully, I know Tom, hold off, and S Beam, hold off. Let's see if we can get people who've never been here before. So how that works is well, I'm let's see, disconnecting, but I'm gonna bring you guys on. Anyone who I don't know where where Rita's gone, where she is, but I'm gonna put this in the live chat. If you want to come on the show, if you've got a good microphone, and you want to chat, let's we'll bring you on. Actually, you know what? Perhaps not. You know, I thought that was a good idea. I think I'm going to end this show because the internet here is being wacky. So I'm going to end this episode of Midnight Musings. I want to thank all of you. I know people are like, oh, Rob, we wanted to hang out longer and see who's going to be here. I know, I'm sorry. But it's weird. It really is. The stream is acting strange. I don't like it. I don't like what's going on. And I don't know if it's on my side or someone else's side. So I'm just going to end it. I'm going to end it. And I want to thank Kevin Morales is here. Pre-ordered my Moon Knight 6 scale, Lael Rob. Well, Kevin, that looks like a great figure. I can't wait to get it. I'm very excited. But anyway, I want to thank my moderating staff. I want to thank Tom Jr. Jackson. I want to thank Darren Seeley. I don't know who else is here because it's late. Tom might have left. No, he's still here. Tom and Darren, thank you for moderating. You do such a fine job. You're goof people, so thank you for that. I want to thank everyone who supports the channel via Super Chats and tips and memberships. Thank you very much. It is very much appreciated. And there is no Let's Get Physical Media this week. We return next week. I will be at the San Diego Comicon for the 20th anniversary. Believe it or not, I've been doing a panel at Comicon. We missed the pandemic years, but the years still tick by. So this is our 20th anniversary. It's been 20 years since we started the panel. Starship Smackdown. It ends the San Diego Comic-Con. If you've never come to Starship Smackdown, you can actually listen to a story about it on NPR called One Starship to Rule Them All, I think. Neil deGrasse Tyson came one year. It's hard to explain. It's like The Matrix. You have to see it for yourself. So if you're in San Diego, we're usually the last panel of the con, around 3:30 maybe 3. I don't know where it's at, but check your con programs. Starship Smackdown, I'll be there. Come say hello. Then we go drink at the Marriott afterwards. It's always a fun time. So I hope to see you there. And on that note, remember, every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear. And all you have to do is listen. And with that, I say to all of you, have a better night.